Hi, Pa.
Hi, Mister.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I don't know if it is my connection or your connection. It is kind of
Yeah.
fast.
I don't know. So, I try to out and then I try to in again. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, yesterday I got information that you need some help regarding the practicals for this, is it?
Yeah. hmm
So, what help exactly do you need, Pa?
Um, this is actually like Bu Yeni mm, provide us to discuss with Raffles School. Yeah. Uh,
Okay.
uh, and then uh, yeah, please to discuss with Raffles teacher
Hmm.
regarding preparing for uh, a P6 uh, P6 exam on May June.
Okay.
Uh, so maybe we just only discuss Pak, what uh, what do you have any prepare for uh, prac- for practical exam? Uh, uh, what kind of you prepare is for the practical?
So, you mean have you already registered your students?
Sorry.
Your students have already been registered for IGC or sorry AS exams.
Yes, yes, yes. Only a
So
few
they,
students, about four students.
okay, so no, it's okay. Even if one student will have to do it, right? So no problem about the number of students. So they are doing practicals for May June, is it?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Okay. So have you done any practical in the school or not?
Uh, yes, but only yeah, only a few meeting. Yeah, maybe uh, about five because we pandemic and then we cannot to go to school. So maybe
Oh,
about four or five. Actually, but we
okay.
prepared it.
Okay.
Yep.
So now you want help with the content of the practical or the process or what? It will be better if I know it so that I can guide you. Is it about the process of practical or is it about the content of the practical, like how do we do the specific papers, or is it about like the general process, like how we conduct the practicals?
I think about general processor, general
Okay.
process course. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So the general process is like this. So if you have already registered the students, Cambridge will send you the confidential instructions. You know confidential instructions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they will send you the list of materials that you will
Yes.
require for the
Yeah.
practicals,
Yes.
right? So the
Yes.
first thing you need to do is you have to see that one and prepare the materials for the exam.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then the second thing is if your students have already done some practicals, now we have so many practical papers in the internet, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So based on that, based on the list of materials that they have sent, Cambridge will not repeat the practicals. I know for sure, right? But
Yes.
what we can do is we can let the students practice
Mm-hmm.
using the
Mm-hmm.
same kind of materials.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you try to find out the past papers which contain
Mm-hmm.
same kind of materials
Yes. Yes.
and let the students practice for that one.
Yes. Yes.
And then AS, you're talking about AS level, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So AS level practical is advanced practical skills. So it's way difficult than IGCSE,
Yes.
the
Correct.
grade 10 one.
Yes. Correct. Correct.
So yeah, the basic difference you already know that in advanced practical skills, the first difference is that the students themselves have to set up the practical apparatus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We will only provide them, but we cannot set up the practical. They will have to look at the question paper and then they will have to set up by themselves.
Yes. Yes.
That's why if you see the list of materials that the Cambridge has sent, it says clearly the
Mm.
materials have to be laid on the desk or the bench and then the students will set up by themselves.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so and then they will start the practicals and once they are done, or you can do it either ways.
Mm-hmm.
Once the students are done, you can do the papers, and then you will have to send your results to Cambridge also.
Okay. Yes.
So the students in your campus, the Cambridge will match with your results, and then they will mark it accordingly. Because sometimes what happens, if there is any experimental error, then there might be the data might be wrong, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that case, if it is only the student that made the error, then the Cambridge will penalize the students. But sometimes there may be the instruments may have the error, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the teacher is also using the same instrument. So if your data also has the error and then students are also getting the same error, in that case students will not be penalized.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So that's why your data is also important.
Oh yeah.
Okay. If possible, I will suggest you to do the practicals together with the students in a different room. Okay, so that you will know already what are the things the students have to be careful on. Right? And I think from this year, Cambridge says that during the practicals, for practicals, there should be two invigilators. One should be the subject mastery and one should be the invigilator.
Oh yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so who is the Cambridge officer in your school? Do you have any Cambridge officer in your school?
Yes. We have Bu Ola.
Okay, so maybe you can check with her what are the new changes for invigilating. Okay, so that's why you can just ask with her, and then you can for the process you can get information about her. But for related to physics practical, I can help you with the first thing you need to do is prepare the materials based on the list of things that the Cambridge has sent to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then second thing, to prepare the students, if students can come to school, you try to find out past papers that have the same kind of instruments sent by the Cambridge. So that the students are already used to in using those instruments. If students have already practiced a lot previously, right, we need not do that. But during the pandemic, they have not practiced so many practical skills, right?
Yes.
So if they have not used those instruments, and then if we just give them at once, sometimes they may be confused on how to use those instruments. So it will be better if you just find some practicals that use the instruments or the things that Cambridge has requested for this year, and let them practice at least 2 or 3 sessions.
Okay.
And then you already know about the content. I think you are clear already. We must be very careful about the first question has a table, right?
Yeah.
That one is the very important for first question. And for second question, the 4 limitations and 4 improvements, the very, very important section. 8 marks for that one. And for table also, we have around 6 marks. So if you are using instruments, you already know that. I will just share you one paper, yeah. And then maybe we can just discuss on that one, so it will be easier for you.
Okay, yes, good. Question 1 also about graphic, yeah, graph, yeah.
Yeah, which paper are you doing? 3-3 or 3-4?
3-3. I think
3-3, yeah.
Yeah, 3-3.
Oh, okay. We are doing 3-4.
Yes.
Yes, question 1 is about the graph.
Yes, about graph.
Question 1, table and graph is most important.
Yes, table and graph. I know it.
Yeah, question 2, the last 4 plus 4 points, limitation and improvements. That is the most important. So maybe if they have asked you for the oil, maybe they will ask you to find something without the oil and with oil, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for that, maybe what you can do is, for oil, I don't know if there are any practicals, but for liquid, you can see if there are any practicals involving any other liquids like that. You know where to get the past papers already, right?
Sorry?
You already know where to get the past papers, right? Past papers for practicals, you know where to find, right?
Yeah, I know from website.
Yeah, website. So what you do is you just check from previous past papers.
Yes.
And try to find out a practical which involves the materials that they are requiring. So it may be not oil, but it may be water or it may be glycerin, something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So in that case, you try to find out that practical and then try to find out what kind of questions they ask from there.
Okay, okay.
And then ask your students to do the practicals related to that one. It may not be exactly same path because for AS it's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
If it is for IGCSE, I can say, okay, they will ask this question already based on the apparatus required.
Mm-hmm.
But for AS, it's kind of difficult for even for the teachers to guess because every time they have new questions.
Okay, okay.
So the best method for now is you just look at the apparatus required and then try to find out the past papers which involve those kind of apparatus
Mm-hmm.
and practice the students with that kind of apparatus.
Okay.
So if it is for question 2, yeah, it's like that. One maybe they will ask without or one without oil or one without the transparent material and the one with the transparent material, and then they will have to find the constant K, and then later they will have to say that in both the cases if it is equal or not.
Mm-hmm. Yes, okay, okay. And then, what do you suggest for me to prepare this exam, sir?
The best method is you already have the apparatus now, right?
Uh-huh.
The best method for now is to find the papers that are similar to the apparatus
Yes.
required.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and practice with the students the same papers.
Yeah. So this is about electricity and what, sir? And what?
The first one is what? The first one is what?
About electricity, they asked me about some resistor, yeah, and then they have component folder, and we need to prepare voltmeter,
Okay.
voltmeter.
Okay, so for that one, you just make sure your students know how to connect the voltmeter, how to connect the circuit in series, how to connect the circuit in three, those kind of practicals.
Okay.
Right, and then the if it is about electricity, just make sure they know how to connect the voltmeter in parallel and then emitter in series, and then they may have to change the resistors. So basically, if it is question 1, they will have to take at least 6 readings. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
So how many resistors are they asking?
So many, sir. It's about 6 or 7, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I know. I can. Oh yeah, I can predict it. It's like 6 set, yeah, for the resistor.
Yeah, because they will have to. They need at least 6 readings, right? So they give you 6 sets.
Oh, okay, sir. I know.
So for resistors, don't worry. There are so many practicals in the past papers.
Yes.
So you can choose any of them. But make sure when you order, when you tell your lab assistant to order, tell her to order more. Not only the required. For example, if you have 4 students, if you have 4 students, you will have to order 4 times 6, at least 24, right?
Sorry, for student.
Yeah, for 4 students, you will have to order at least 4 times 6, so 24 resistors, right?
Oh yeah.
And one for you because you will also need to do so 30 resistors minimum.
Yes.
But make sure you practice also. Do not use the used materials for the real exam. For real exam, try to use all the new materials. So because sometimes when we use the resistors may have been destroyed already because of overheating or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So when you are doing the practical exams, always use new materials.
Yes.
And then, so when you have to order now, you will have to make sure you order for practice also. Because when you use for practice and then you cannot use for the real exam again.
Okay.
So minimum 4 students and 1 set for you. So 5 times 6, there will be at least 30 resistors required only for the exam, final exam.
Yeah.
But for practice, you can order extra.
Okay.
So maybe for practice, you can order 2 sets for students. You can do in a group of 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then one for yourself also if you want to try.
Okay. 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 Okay.
So about the resistors, you can find papers already. In the past papers, there are so many. I have found those and then I have tried those out already. But
Yeah.
for exactly about the oil and the transparent thing, I do not remember if I have gone through that past paper or not.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So maybe you can find some paper where they have used different liquid, not oil, but different liquid. So in that case, it will be easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to do the practicals with the students so they will be used to. So the main thing is, we should not give completely new apparatus to the students in finals. So they will be confused. They may not be able to analyze on how to use that instrument.
Sorry, sir. Sir, can you repeat, sir?
Yeah, again, we cannot give a completely new instrument to students
Yes.
in the final exam only.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you have the list of apparatus already,
Mm-hmm.
if you even if you don't have the past paper,
Mm-hmm.
you can just let them know how you use that instrument. That's why always order some extra instruments and then use it with the students and then let them know how that instrument is used.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, if you cannot find any past paper, you just try to. You already know how that instrument will be used, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you just try to call the students and then let them know, okay, this is how you connect it, and then this is how you take the readings from here.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So for I think for AS practical, you already know that if you are using a ruler like meter rule
Mm-hmm.
to measure something, and then they measure the length 25 centimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So if they write 25 centimeter, that will be wrong. You know already, right?
Mm-hmm.
They cannot write 25 centimeter only. They will have to write 25.0 centimeter. So that's the point where the students need to understand that one.
Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because we need to show Cambridge that we have been using the instrument with millimeters. If I write only 25, that means Cambridge will understand that, oh, the instrument did not have mm.
Mm-hmm.
So it was only 1 cm, 2 cm, 3 cm. So your LC must be seen there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you must be very careful when you are doing the table.
Yeah.
For the table, raw data, all the data must have same decimal place.
Okay. Okay.
Right? For example, if you are using the stopwatch with 0.00, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all your raw data means the students may have to take 25 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it is 25, then they will have to write 25.00 if your stopwatch is up to 0.00.
Okay.
But if your stopwatch does not have the milliseconds or centiseconds, then no need to write that one.
Mm-hmm.
If it is only seconds, like 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, then you can write only 25, 26, 27 like that.
Okay. Okay.
But if there is a stopwatch that shows until hundredth of a second, then you will have to write. If it is 1 second, also we will have to write 1.00.
Okay.
For the ruler, we will have to write. If it is exactly 5 centimeter, we cannot write 5 centimeter only. We have to write 5.0.
Mm-hmm.
So that will make sure that there is millimeter also in the ruler.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think.
I can send you a YouTube link where they have described the practical, how they do the practical papers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So later maybe you can share me your WhatsApp number, and then whenever you have any doubts, you can ask me already how to do the line of best fit.
Mm-hmm.
And while finding the gradient, they must show the triangle in the graph.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which 2 points they have taken, and then those 2 points must be shown in the graph, and the triangle must be more than half of the line.
Okay. Okay.
So that point, and then the most important is significant figures. So when the students calculate something from other one,
Mm-hmm.
actually I had prepared a PowerPoint just to show you.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, for resources, you already know how to find the resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
But basically, the difference is in IGCSE there were 4 questions. For AS level, there are only 2 questions, right?
Okay. Yes.
And then the next one is skills. So in IGCSE, the lab assistant or the teacher will set up all the practicals already. The students will have to only take readings. But for AS level, the students themselves have to set up the apparatus also. And time for AS level is 2 hours, and for IGCSE it was only 1 hour 15 minutes, and there were 4 questions.
Yes.
But for AS level, only 2 questions, 20 marks each, and 2 hours time. And even 2 hours, most of the students will not find it enough. It takes time.
Okay.
Resources you can find from School Support Hub. You must have the email for School Support Hub, right? I use this gceguide.com. So this one has all the papers.
Yeah.
And
wait, sir, I will screen capture first. Yeah.
Okay.
Then, sir.
Yeah, no worries. I can send you the link also later in your WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
For this one. Yeah. And then process. The first thing you need to do is you need to download the materials required. So if you are doing in the school, not for the final exam, so from that website you can find the materials required for a particular practical.
Yes. Okay.
For example, this is the materials required, and then you prepare them in advance, and then do the practicals. And then question 1, basically it is about data collection and data analysis. Collection, they will do it in the table, and analysis they will do using the graph paper, right?
Okay.
And then things to consider, raw data must have same decimal place. Decimal place is like, if you are using a ruler, then it will be like 5.1, 6.2. Okay, you cannot write 5 and then 6.1. So it's not the same decimal place, right?
Okay.
So that's why the raw data means the raw data is the one the students collect. Yeah, they take by doing the experiment.
Yes.
And then if they have to use this data and calculate something else, then they will have to follow this data's significant figure. So significant figure may be different for different data, but decimal place is same for raw data.
Okay.
For example, if I write 5.0 and then 11.2, then 5.0 has only 2 significant figures, right?
Yeah.
And another reading 11.2 has 3 significant figures. So if you use 5.0 to calculate something else, your final answer must be 2 significant figure or 3 significant figure. But if you are using 11.2 to calculate another thing, then your final answer must have 3 or 4 significant figures.
Okay.
So if they are in the table, sometimes you will have to use the raw data to calculate something. So in that case, you must be very careful with the significant figures.
Okay.
Yeah. Must express the data based on the device used. So if it is a ruler with millimeter scale, then it should be expressed in millimeter scale. If it is a stopwatch with 1/100th of a second, then it will be 1.00 second, 15.66 seconds, something like that. Significant figures must be taken into account. This is very important because Cambridge will penalize if the significant figures is not taken into account. They will deduct 1 mark.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are the things.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Oh, yes.
Let me share you one of the papers and then it will be easier for you.
Okay.
Mm.